because I'm not reaching. I'm tied into what's happening in America right now and how they're distracting us while we're at the brink of World War III. Because when we look up, when all the hype is done from the Super Bowl and all this, we're going to already be in too deep. And you're going to see why I just said that in just a minute as we get more into these reviews. Please like and share the video.
They keep moving, all 1.8 million of them.
Now, if you look at Gaza, it's all, I mean, there's hardly a building standing, and the ones that are going to collapse. You can't live in Gaza right now.
Relocating them to surrounding countries, and if military force is needed,
if it's necessary, we'll do that.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu could barely contain his glee.
You are the greatest friend Israel has ever had in the White House.
Decades of U.S. policy and international law swept aside.
Everybody I've spoken to loves the idea of the United States owning that piece of land.
Not
you hear that?
In the Middle East. Palestinians rejected it outright. Egypt and Jordan already had.
Okay, so I don't really want to play too much I don't want to show no sort of explosions or anything like that. So just scan this because YouTube be tripping. Let's go.
The Saudis too. In Australia,
we have had a long-standing bipartisan position for a two-state solution.
Refusing to say if he'd condemn any illegal U.S.
A two-state solution. Now, a lot of Christians are saying that this two-state solution is some kind of biblical prophecy that is actually backing up my claim that we're on the brink of something big. So that was a reason Donald Trump was at the Super Bowl, because he don't want his listen, they want the Super Bowl that we just watched, y'all. It was one of the most watched Super Bowls in the world. And let me break some down to you. It wasn't just because of Kendrick Lamar. It was because Donald Trump was there as well. And Donald Trump is invading Gaza, or almost, we about to. He gave Hamas an ultimatum. He said, if you don't release them hostages by Saturday, we coming in, and that's going to set off World War III, because there's so many other countries that already said if we do that, they going to act. I told y'all this was going to happen. Now, listen, while this serious situation is going on, what are we doing? Distracted with the Super Bowl. We only got, think about what's today, Thursday. Trump said, if this don't happen by Saturday, we going to war. And I'm going to show you that. Read the title. If they ain't released by Saturday, Trump said all hell gonna break loose. I'm showing you the doggone receipts right here. This is breaking news. Ain't nobody talking about it. Trump said if they don't release these hostages by Saturday, U.S. going into Gaza, and we about to go into Gaza. We already went into the Middle East years ago. That drained us. We still ain't fully out of there. Now we about to go into Gaza, people, that's going to drain the economy. We at a fragile time with the economy. But the thing you want to point, we definitely going to World War III. Now watch this, right? I'm going to show y'all why the Super Bowl is so important with this, though. Because everybody talking about the symbolism surrounding Kendrick Lamar, right? But then nobody point out the fascist fist. Now, a lot of people will look at this and they will say, well, that right there, they will say this right here means black power, right? But check it out. Why is Trump doing it? See, Trump do this everywhere he go. He did it at the Super Bowl. Now, you got to ask yourself this question. You had the whole world looking at America while the Gaza invasion is going on and we're back in Israel, right? And black people, we don't really back the war. Americans don't really back Trump and Netanyahu's Gaza invasion. And this goes for MAGA people too. That's the crazy thing. A lot of MAGA people, a lot of people that support Trump, they don't fully agree with the Gaza invasion either. And then it is a contradiction if he said he's going to put Americans first. You're putting Israel first, which is why you see this up at Primer Park. Congratulations, Trump, making Israel great again. And that's what we do. He's using American resources to enrich Israel. We're going to go into that more in a minute. And it ain't just Trump. Anybody in that seat is going to do this. You can't go against the mob. But anyway, let's get back to the Super Bowl. See, Americans ain't fully in on this Gaza invasion. And while we over there and things are heating up on the Gaza Strip, the whole world was watching the Super Bowl. And guess what it made it look like? It made it look like the black people and Americans are in full support of the Gaza invasion. What? See, if the Super Bowl wasn't going on during this Gaza invasion, Americans would be disagreeing with Trump being over there. We will be pushing back on our government and we will be saying, Trump, I thought you was going to make America great again, right? Now, if you look at them throwing the fist up, that means fascism. America is going into a fascist government under Trump. Y'all keep seeing this fist right here, but you don't know what it means. And you know what's so crazy? Everybody talking about symbolism right now. The symbolism. Peep the symbolism. Well, I got news for you. Kendrick Lamar ain't the only one doing symbolism. The symbolism that the world was looking for in Kendrick Lamar performance, that was a distraction from the real thing, which is what? You had a Palestinian protester waving a war flag in the air. That was, and ain't nobody talking about that Palestinian that went out there. And listen, I'm finna break that whole thing down because that was a psyop, and I'm gonna show you that they wanted that to happen because I got my receipts with me today. I'm finna, well, let me go to my next slide. I gotta take my time though. I'm just giving y'all an overview, you know, but stay with me now. Pull up this next image real quick. Hold on, let's finish the clip. My bad, but let's finish the clip. And then I'll find this next
move.
I'm not going to have a running commentary on statements by the President of the United States. I've made that very clear.
The radical proposal after his land grab claims on Greenland and the Panama Canal.
That would constitute the war crime. It would shatter some of the most fundamental rules of world order since 1945.
So many US presidents.
And you know, during 1945, that was World War II. So everybody in the world is prepping for World War III while Americans is arguing about the Super Bowl and Kendrick Lamar. And you know what's so crazy? We only got 2 to 3 more days before Trump said we finna go into Gaza. So we've wasted a whole week where we should have been challenging this order. And nobody, we just turned this way while they was doing it this way. We fell for the okie doke, man. And the real symbolism in the Super Bowl was when the Palestinian guy interrupted the dope performance. Now, he didn't care about this fire performance that Kendrick was doing. He was where, see, everybody talking about Kendrick Lamar's performance was revolutionary. I gotta be honest. The most revolutionary thing that happened in the Super Bowl was the Palestinian protester. Oh my God. He really took the chance. He got tackled. Now listen, and I'm gonna go back to that in a minute. Let me crawl for our walk though.
Presidents have sat in the Oval Office chasing Middle East peace, but there has never been a proposal as radical or as dangerous as this. Is it the real estate mogul turning the territory into a seaside resort, or is it another classic Trump threat to close one of his deals?
Like his trade threats to Canada and Mexico, forcing a compromise. Now thinking of a Nobel Peace Prize.
I deserve it, but they will never give it to me.
Chris Reason, 7 News.
Let's keep it moving. I want you to pay attention to and read what I'm about to put up on the screen now. Now, what you saying right now are Middle Eastern countries around the world. There are people in their governments. These are probably a lot of BRIC nations, I'm guessing, but it's a lot of people pushing back to this Gaza plan and Trump adamant about it with Netanyahu. Let me read some to you real quick, right? The United States seizing control of the Palestinian territory would reverse decades of U.S. Middle East policy. So check it out. Foreign leaders vehemently denounced U.S. President Trump's unprecedented Gaza relocation proposal on Wednesday, warning that it would violate international law and destabilize the region, among other concerns. After meeting with Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House on Tuesday, Trump suggested that the United States seize control of Gaza, displace its entire population of 2.1 million people to other countries such as Egypt and Jordan, and then rebuild and develop the territory into the what he called the Riviera of the Middle East. Come on now, Trump didn't tell nobody he was going to do this when he got in office. This man has betrayed Americans right in front of our face. He said he was going to make America great again. Now he's making Israel great again. This man is risking everything just for a Zionist agenda. And he's so clever about it. Everybody know when you want to get a one-up on Americans, you better do it during a football game. You know, because Americans ain't going to miss their sports. We don't care what's going on in the world. We showing up to that football game. We putting the important stuff in the world on pause. And we going to watch them dudes chase that ball in them tights. You see what I'm saying? So the whole thing is, it was everything that was going on in Gaza in the midst, in the hype of what's going on in America right now. You see what I'm saying? So let's read some more of this. Trump said we're going to own the Gaza Strip and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site. Now, let me show y'all why this is crazy. Trump got to displace millions of people to make this possible. And I'm showing you the video now. Look at these people. It is, do you see this right here, man? All of these people are going to relocate in our enemies' countries and build armies. We're at the brink of World War III. So we're making a lot of enemies going into Gaza right now. And the one thing you got to be privy to is whenever they doing something that they know the American people would push back on, they do it when we ain't watching. Why would we be turning up the volume in Gaza during the Super Bowl? It's you got to think about this. Why would the president of the United States be at a football game while our biggest ally is in the biggest moment of history when it comes to warfare? This ain't happened since the 40s, y'all. What? Does it make sense to you that the leader of the free world that's at the brink of World War III will be at a football game doing a fist pound with black people there? And we don't see the symbolism, because check it out. If the Super Bowl wasn't going on, black people will be raising hell about what Trump doing. Nobody will be behind this. Even Trump supporters wouldn't. I don't think they all fully 100% on this one, because this can drain Americans' resources, and I don't think this is going to benefit American people. Now, you will have a lot of real diehard Trump stands that'll try to make the Gaza invasion benefit you and me, but it's only going to benefit Israel and Netanyahu if we really keep it honest with ourselves and, you know, get off the glazing and all that. Quit glazing, you know. But it's crazy because this is going to exhaust a lot of American resources over so many years, while we already got fires in Cali, floods in North Carolina. Trump said he was going to put Americans first, and instead of him rebuilding California, he trying to rebuild the Gaza Strip. That's right. This man ain't even been in office no time, and we already about to invade somebody. But he was speaking peace, right, before he got in there. Now, Trump at the doggone Super Bowl game, think about what I'm telling you. Think about this. Never before in the history of the NFL have a president been at the Super Bowl game. Why would we be making historical moments right now? Because we're at the brink of something big, and we're going to cry. We smiling now, we're going to cry later. We smiling now, we're going to cry later. When you sober up out of your drunkenness, you're going to see how we was duped. And it's too late, because ain't everybody still talking about Kendrick Lamar, and we ain't got but 2 more days before the invasion. Trump, and guess what? Hamas ain't finna release them hostages. They not finna bow down. Why? Because look at what Israel doing to the Palestinians. Look at this. You think they care about a few Israel hostages when Trump displacing millions of Palestinians and disrupting the whole region just to build a Riviera? And ain't no American gonna convince me that this is worth that. This ain't worth putting our whole country at risk and risking World War III. But we are such suckers for Israel, right? That's right. Now watch this. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm like this, me personally, right? It's a few Israel hostages over there. Let them be, man. You can't win it all. Let's focus on Americans. Hey, man, they took it for the team. I'm just saying, think about it. If we're going to put Americans first, we got Americans that's got problems in Cali and North Carolina. We can't save everybody. So let's have a priority list. We can save Americans at home and not even bring the world to World War III. We can do what you said you was going to do, focus on problems at home, rebuilding in America, making it great again. Because we are in a crisis moment right now. Or we can risk everything we've worked for the past 50 years just for some few Israel hostages over there, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro, I'm greedy. And I'm saying, hold your own nuts. It's about me and mine. Let Israel handle them in theirs. You see what I'm saying? Right. Why America always gotta come to Israel? Leave my little brother alone. Your little brother need to quit talking crap to everybody. That's right. Your little brother need to learn to shut his mouth up. So the fate of the ceasefire in Gaza seems fragile after Israel threatened to restart the war unless Hamas release all Israel hostages by this Saturday. What? By this Saturday. Look, watch this, right? The overall fate of Gaza was the focus of an Oval Office meeting between President Trump and Jordan's King Abdullah, which Trump vowed to take the enclave. The king of Jordan, you know, the biblical Jordan River. There's a lot of prophecies unraveling while we are not entertained. You at the Colosseum being distracted. And it's biblical events leading up to a big moment on earth. I told y'all they're going to get us so drugged up and intoxicated with Kool-Aid right before the bull crap happened, and you ain't gonna be able to stop it. They know what they wanted to do. Trump wanted to bring America to war. And if it wasn't for the Super Bowl game, we would really be talking about the Gaza invasion. And Americans wouldn't be agreeing with it, which would make it hard for them to go take that land over, because if you got Americans disagreeing with it and you got your ops disagreeing with it. Come on now. But I'm finna go deep now, because think about this. Everybody talking about the symbolism during the Super Bowl show, right? Here's the symbolism that nobody pay attention to. Peep game right here. Neo-Nazism. See, The whole world don't decode symbolism like Black Americans. They see all of us as America and we start mess and they don't like us. And Americans ain't really for the war. And Trump know that. Trump know, Netanyahu know that Americans ain't really for the war. Just like in Vietnam. So they got to use a tactic to make it look like we all for it. And in a time where we would have been pushing against the war, we was celebrating the Super Bowl. And what happened during the Super Bowl, it made it look like Americans are all together and united for this Gaza invasion. That's why Trump was at the Super Bowl. That's why Kendrick halftime performance had so much patriotism. And if it was really a rebellious act, they would have had a red, black, and green flag. And some questions you got to ask yourself, right? Kanye West got canceled for saying George Bush don't like black people. Kanye West got canceled for talking against the small hats. I think the whole world owed Kanye West an apology because they was joking on that man when what he was doing was more revolutionary than what Kendrick Lamar did performing for Apple, right? For Apple Tech company, for sure. That's who sponsored the halftime show. But after the halftime show, Kendrick's album sales quadrupled. They shot up because that's really how the Super Bowl performers get their money. I want everybody to like and share the video. You see YouTube messing with my numbers, man. So look, when the whole world was looking at America because it was the most watched bowl game in the history of the world, look at what they saw. They saw a patriot. It made it look like, yeah, let's go to war. Let's do it. We're all neo-Nazis. We all behind this fascist agenda that Trump got. You got Trump at a Super Bowl throwing up a fist. You got all these black Americans, red, white, and blue, not RBG, throwing up the fascist fist. I don't think that means black power. I think that mean exactly what Trump know it mean and what them neo-Nazis is doing in the bottom left corner. This is neo-Nazism. Let me take the overlay off for just a minute for this one. Take that off for just a minute. See what I'm saying? So it made it look like we're all in on it. When really ain't none of, mostly all these dudes you see standing up there with their fists up, they don't agree with going into Gaza. But if you're an outsider looking in, you don't get it. You think, okay, America, okay. You think we all rising up against y'all. And that's why Trump was at the Super Bowl, and that's why the halftime show was so patriotic. That's why this was the most watched halftime show ever, because guess what? Where Trump go, the world watch. So the question is, why did Trump go to the Super Bowl? Because Trump wanted the world to watch this symbolism of the halftime show, which is why it's so talked about more than Michael Jackson's show. And don't you know they had to add crowd effects because it was so dead? It was so dead that they had to add crowd effects for Kendrick Lamar. And that don't mean his music sucked. It means that the NFL crowd is full of rich white folks who don't really care for Compton hip hop. I love all the songs he played, but in my opinion, I agree that Kendrick should have played some more commercial hits that America would have liked. But see what Kendrick did, Kendrick sacrificed the show side of it for let me teach you something. And a lot of folks think that that was a risky move. As an artist, I would agree that it was a risky move. You got to do either or. Either you're going to show up and have them, shaking their butts and they drinking their alcohol, dancing during the show, or you saying, you know what, forget all that. Playtime's over. Look at my symbolism. I have a message to tell America. So, y'all can debate on whether you think it was worth the risk for him to. But then we will have to ask, if we're going to ask, was it worth it? We will have to ask, what was the message Kendrick was trying to give off? Because You got Donald Trump right there. You know, if I was Kendrick, I would have yelled on the mic, "In the war in Gaza," and the crowd would have celebrated. Kendrick could have stopped the war, but I don't think he took advantage of that. That's right. And I'm going to be honest with you. If we want to talk about Kendrick doing a revolutionary act at the halftime show, I don't think that that's his job to be a revolutionary for you. He only got to be a good musician, right? He don't got to sign up to be a martyr for any group or promote division just for black people and all that, right? So he's being a political pawn for a lot of people. In my opinion, I don't think even Kendrick himself would like to be a political pawn. I don't think he's divisive. I don't think he's choosing like one group. He's a black man that's letting America know we struggle in this country, right? That's it. This Uncle Sam got his foot on my neck. Now, it's not a deep message. It's a simple, true message that we've been screaming for hundreds of years. He just screamed it on a big stage, and he deserves credit for that. But the world already know we struggling. That's the only thing. We got to tell them something they don't know. Like, we don't agree with the Gaza invasion. That would have been a big revolutionary statement, because guess what? You had a Palestinian protester come out on stage. We in war right now. So I said that the biggest statement that was made during the Super Bowl was this guy right here. Let's pull him up and check this out, because this is going to get real deep. Here it is right here. Okay, we don't want to play the music because we don't know what kind of copyrights. But yeah, this was during Turn the TV Off. Don't you know Turn His TV Off is one of the biggest songs Kendrick got? And when the Palestinian guy went up there with the war flag, they was playing Turn Your TV Off, and y'all talking about coded messages. Kendrick Lamar telling you to cut your damn TV off because we about to go to World War III. That's right. Y'all breaking down all the symbolism, and y'all missed that part. During Turn Your TV Off is when the Palestinian flag came out. Come on, let's talk symbolism, people. Let's talk symbolism now. That's right. That ain't no coincidence, because when you waving that war flag, turn your TV off, that mean go look at the news. We about to go into Gaza by Saturday and invade. Look at here. We at the brink of World War III, man, because Hamas and a bunch of big nations said, we ain't gonna let you do it, Trump. And people, men got ego. If you think America just gonna do what they want and the ops gonna let it slide, you stupid. Stupid. There's a such thing called war, and it happens in the world, and it's about to happen in a big way now while we sleeping. So let's go back and show you something about this protester that didn't nobody peep. Now, I'm going to pull up a photo, and we finna get into some investigation. Now, here go the protester right here, right? Look at him. He's standing on top of Kendrick's car now. Come on. What? Look at what I'm showing now. You got a person with a badge on right here. This person got a badge on. This person got a badge on, right? And you mean to tell me don't none of them know that there's a Sudanese protester standing up on the doggone Grand National with the flag? See, people, this right here was provocative, and people ain't peeping. I'm finna read you some articles on, because it was so much going on, people was distracted. They're telling you two different messages. On one message, they want black people to be distracted. On the other hand, they want foreigners around the world that's watching the Super Bowl to think that all the Americans are united with Israel to go into Gaza. Because when the foreigners see us throw up the fist right there with the red, white, and blue, it makes it look like we're part of fascism. It makes it look like we're all connected with Trump agenda, which is why Trump went to the Super Bowl show, because he was there for a reason, for all of his enemies, for the whole world that's watching America to think that America is united in the war effort in Gaza, when really that's a lot of Americans disagree with that. But this was so slick how he did it, though. When you talk about sleight of hand and distraction tactics, it was just simply phenomenal, is all I can say. But let's get back to this Palestinian photo and let's break this down. Because when you look at this photo, look at the people in black right there, because you had Kendrick people, right? Kendrick people had red, white, and blue on. This the question that ain't nobody asked. Who the hell was this group that was in all black? Now listen, they was just kind of doing their own thing. It ain't like the camera really included them a lot in the footage. And the Palestinian protester, he came from out of this little black group. Not a little black group that was dancing during Kendrick performance, right? Everybody focused on the red, white, and blue. That's the distraction. But if you think about it, this little group that's in all black right here, they dress like neo-Nazis. And you got a dude on top of this dang on thing, they protecting him. Think about what I'm saying. Ain't nobody in the black group saying, stop him, take him down. Somebody had to run from way on the other side of the field. How the world they noticed it before all these people that's standing around right there by that man. That's right. I'm telling you, they wanted this to happen. This is a government implant, and this was a message we were sending to the world and make it look like we want war. It's very provocative. Now watch this. How do I know that this seemed fishy and this is some kind of government implant? Because watch what I'm about to show you now. This finna blow you away right here, buddy. Let's do this. Watch this. I got my receipts, man. Look. The protester who displayed a Palestinian flag during Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show won't even face no charges. Oh, my God. Come on now. You heard that? You heard that? Come on now, people. Come on now. What do you think would have happened if that was Sanchez? What do you think would have happened if that was one of y'all? That don't even make no sense. You telling me that this man is almost, he did a rebel act? Come on now, bro. Come on, wait a minute, bro. You mean to tell me this, bro? Bro, people run out on the field with their clothes off for clout all the time and they face charges. How the world is Palestinian rebel? How the world is protester ain't gonna face charges when you protesting war stuff at an NFL game? That's worse than what Colin Kaepernick was doing. Come on now. That's right. How y'all gonna be an outcry about Colin Kaepernick taking a knee for black people? Y'all kicked that man out the league, but a Palestinian protester can come in the biggest Super Bowl moment in NFL history and do a distraction that got something to do with war and don't face no charges. Come on now. Oh my God. They kicked Colin Kaepernick out the NFL for kneeling. And this dude ain't zero charges, zero punishment. We talking the biggest Super Bowl halftime show in the history, and it was tainted by this doggone distraction that this dude, and what he did was almost a terroristic act when it come to media and the message. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's actually speaking, it's instigating something, you know, that Americans may or may not want. It's a very big political statement. In fact, the Palestinian protester was more of a revolutionary than Kendrick Lamar. What he did could have really came with some serious punishment, and the fact that they did nothing to him, considering the big risk he took. This whole Super Bowl seems crazy. It seems deceptive. They want us to be sucking Kendrick off so we can't see that he's part of it too. He's been the distracting. He's the thing that they're using to distract the people with. And they got them trying to decode messages from his halftime show that we already know, the black man struggling. When really, some we don't know is that we at the brink of World War III is what they're distracting us from. So let's go into some more, man. I want y'all to like and share this video. This is crazy. It's crazy.
Hamas. A stark warning to Hamas from President Trump. Last night, he set a deadline for the release of all remaining hostages in Gaza and warned there will be consequences if they don't.
No, I would say Saturday at 12, we want them all back. I'm speaking for myself. Israel can override it. But from myself, Saturday at 12 o'clock, and if they're not...
Think about this, right? I'm Kendrick Lamar. I got the president of the United States at my show. Whatever I say, Trump got to hear it. Whatever I say, if I address Trump, the whole crowd gonna look at Trump. Kendrick could have, and listen, y'all talking about if you wanted to make the halftime show a revolutionary moment, bro, you got a mic in your hand, the president right there. He got to hear everything you say. And all he get is say Drake. And it's like, that was the distraction. The fact that, bro, I know you beefing with Drake, but the president here. I would have been like, let's end World War. Let's hold insurance companies accountable in Southern California. Ain't Kendrick from Southern California? That's right. Why he ain't saying, Trump, what are we doing about the wildfires in Cali? That's revolutionary. Because the whole audience gonna clap it up for that. Like, yeah, what you gonna do about the residents in Cali, about the people? You gonna give them insurance companies a bailout? Bro, I would have worshiped Kendrick if he would have did that shit. Like, but it was just good music. It was great music. It was, to me, people hating on him, they acting like it was a bad performance. Bro, it was well thought out. It had people eyes glued from beginning to end, and his music is good. You can't hate on his music, bro. And you gotta let the West Coast shine. Everybody got to bow down. The South, the East, it ain't our turn. It's the West Coast turn right now. That's right. And Kendrick is the face of the West Coast, and this is just the hip hop head in me keeping it real. I'm going to give you the spiritual stuff. I'm going to tell you what's happening in the world. But just on a hip-hop head level, a lot of hip-hop heads just hating on Kendrick. I ain't going to lie. He is a GOAT. He is in the top 10, top 5. I don't care what nobody say. He is relevant to the culture. And, yeah. He didn't have a horrible show. I think that it was, his energy was mediocre, but it was okay because it was so much other stuff going on as far as the dancing and stuff. But back to what I was saying, you know, Kendrick had the president there. That was his moment to really, in my opinion, but I don't think he wanted to turn it into some revolutionary thing, right? Now, you can't give him a pass for that because Kanye West was very vocal. Kanye West was vocal to the small hats. He even said, look, President Bush don't like black people. Kanye West hopped up on stage at the VMOs and said Beyonce should have got that award. He's about it now. He's about it. So don't act like Kendrick's scared to be just as vocal as Kanye, who actually know Trump. Kanye know Trump. But my whole thing is like, don't give him an out. It just, in my opinion, it wasn't enough done if you want to say, well, we should have made it a revolutionary thing. But what I'll say to Kendrick's defense is that I don't think he really wanted to make it all too hotepish. It's simple conscious rap. You know what I'm saying? We made it more than what it was. But if we really wanted to say, let's do some revolutionary at the Super Bowl, I think it would have definitely been to say at the end of one of his songs, world peace, let's end the war. Like, because black people ain't behind the war in Gaza. That's right. We behind the rebuilding of the black communities and black economics. It's all about us, man. We ain't concerned with nobody else. That's right. We about the platinum plan and all that, bro. Trump, well, we got Israel hostages over there. Too bad, that's their problem, bro. They got their prime minister? Don't y'all do this with the immigrants? Y'all do the same thing with the immigrants. Keep the same energy for Israel, or you a hypocrite. That's right.
Hostages in Gaza and
or you ain't concerned with your resources being taken by foreigners. Because Israel is taking more of our resources than these doggone immigrants who just taking your little Home Depot jobs and your little fruit picking jobs. Let's go.
warned there will be consequences if they don't.
No, I would say Saturday at 12, we want them all back. I'm speaking for myself. Israel can override it. But from myself, Saturday at 12 o'clock, and if they're not here, all hell is going to break out.
CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand is following us for us from the White House this morning. Natalie, that ultimatum came when the president was signing executive orders. But give us a bit of context in how.
I just thought of something, y'all. Put this on a shirt with a silhouette of Kendrick Lamar. The revolution will not be televised, and it will not be bell-bottomized.
A stark warning to Hamas from President Trump. Last night, he set a deadline for the release of all remaining hostages in Gaza and warned there will be consequences if they don't.
No, I would say Saturday at 12, we want them all back. I'm speaking for myself. Israel can override it. But from myself, Saturday at 12 o'clock, and if they're not here, all hell is going to break out.
CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand is following us for us from the White House this morning. Natalie, that ultimatum came when the president was signing executive orders. But give us a bit of context in how this came up and what else was said.
Yeah, he was signing those orders and then taking questions from reporters. And one journalist asked him about the new reports that Hamas was going to be postponing the release of the next round of hostages. That's when the president started talking about the conditions of the hostages that have been released so far, saying, you know, they've been in poor health, emaciated. And then he went on to deliver this ultimatum, saying that he wants all hostages released by noon on Saturday, or else, he said, all hell will break out. Now, when pressed by reporters, when asked what that would mean, he said, they'll find out, you'll find out. Didn't really give a lot of details, but did repeat a couple different times this deadline of Saturday at noon. Although, Errol, it's important to note that he also said Israel could override it, that ultimately this is their decision. And this comes as both sides, including White House mediators, are trying to keep this.
People keep talking about the Eagles versus the Chiefs. It's the white man versus the black Indians. Remind y'all who lost the game, right? Right? The Chiefs lost, right? So, I mean, what they telling you? We about to lose, right? If y'all want to play that game, I mean, let's play it. I'm with you. It's saying, hey, prepare, smile now, cry later, because the Chiefs lost. That's us, right?
This is their decision, and this comes as both sides, including White House mediators, are trying to keep this ceasefire agreement together. Hamas had accused Israel of violating it by not letting some Palestinians return to the north, also saying that they were coming under attack of gunfire. Well, Israel has said that if the release of additional hostages is postponed. That would be a clear violation, putting the military forces there on high alert.
Yeah, the agreement is delicate as it is. I also want to ask you about the new federal ruling yesterday. It blocked what could have been some potentially steep cuts to medical research. What's the latest on that front?
Yeah, once again, a federal judge has put Trump administration changes on pause while it further considers this case. This was funding changes by NIH, the National Institutes of Health, to research grant recipients, universities or research institutes conducting scientific research, cancer research. It wanted to cut down or cap indirect costs, things like money going towards facilities, equipment, overhead. NIH said in a memo that it would be saving around $4 billion a year. But these research institutes and state attorneys general from Democratic states with
So we get it. Trump saying all hell gonna break loose if them hostages ain't released by Saturday. And the Palestinians are protesting because they're being displaced out of their land by millions. Let me just show you the video again. This goes for miles and miles and miles, people. Where you think all of them people gonna go? It's disrupting that whole region by moving these people around, and Israel is just bumming this land. And guess what Trump's saying? Trump saying, well, they need to get out of there versus Israel need to get out of there. Oh, my God. Are y'all listening to what I'm saying? Trump is saying, I don't know why anybody would want to stick around. I mean, it's bombs, it's landmines, they're extorting these people. They're extorting them. And it's like, instead of Trump saying Israel shouldn't be over there sticking around, displacing them people, he's telling all of these people that you see walking here, well, then get out of there if it's being bombed. Oh! And people are like, well, that's their home. They don't got nowhere to go. So this is like kicking the can to other nations. All of these millions of people got to go somewhere, and they can't go to the Gaza Strip because Israel is bombing it. They're ethnically cleansing that land as we speak. They're ethnically cleansing this land as we speak. And this is the biggest form of ethnic cleansing we've seen since the 40s, y'all, with World War II. Oh, my God. And ain't nobody talking about this. We decoding the bell bottoms, man. We defending the bell bottoms. That's all I'm saying. Don't be distracted by the bell bottoms, by the Austin Powers. You get what I'm saying? That's right. So these people are just gonna become some other country's problem. And with this many people, we talking a bunch of problems to a bunch of nations. Bro, this is gonna cause so much chaos and uproar. Where these people gonna go? And so guess what's gonna happen? Other countries gonna say, we got to go over there and stop Israel because all of these millions of Palestinians just showing up everywhere. And if we don't do something about it, we letting America have their way to displace as many people they want for their little capitalistic agenda. That's right. And you think the world gonna stand by and let America bully everybody just to expand its empire? You're stupid. We going to war. So while we don't know what's going on, the whole world preparing for war. And when the whole world was looking at Americans, this is what we was doing. I made this little video. Let's play it real quick. saying. How y'all gonna talk about conquer the Gaza Strip all only happening? Agile. Trump talking about I was all had body policy. Watch that. I was all had promises. That's right. Against a line of property. Ron said, you ain't gonna be able to stay at home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. Come on, say it again. Yo, let's replay this, man. That was 5 minutes of silence, huh? I bet y'all was able to meditate or some shit, huh? My bad, though. Like and share the video. Let's get the numbers back up. I wanted to play this video right here and then come back to my commentary. So let me restart it. My bad. You got to put yourself in the shoes of somebody who foreign, who live in a third world country. Y'all telling me y'all don't hear this video right here? Why we getting twos right now? Because it's telling me that y'all was supposed to hear that the whole time. You telling me y'all can't, hold on, let me play this. They don't get into all this symbolism and stuff. Did y'all hear the bump? Drop a one if y'all just heard that bomb. Drop a one. Let me see if my speaker's on. No, drop a one if you heard the bomb only. I know you hear me. Can y'all hear the video? You don't supposed to, okay, so y'all heard the bomb, but I'm saying, can you hear this video that we doing? They see a bunch of black people shucking and jiving, patriotic, loving the beast, loving Babylon. Now think about this. If I was Trump and I wanted to invade the Gaza Strip, I know that. So y'all hear what I'm saying about Trump and the Gaza Strip? Type in Gaza Strip and that'll confirm that y'all hear the video, because I don't know if the ones are for the bomb or the video. So he said, yes, we hear the vid. This is a very important video, y'all. So I got this plugged into the stream today so you can hear what I'm saying. So let's play the video, man. I think the people said they do hear the video, so let's play it. You got to put yourself in the shoes of somebody who foreign, who live in a third world country. They don't get into all this symbolism and stuff that we doing. They see a bunch of black people shucking and jiving, patriotic, loving the beast, loving Babylon. You got to put yourself in the shoes of somebody who foreign, who live in a third world country. They don't get into all this symbolism and stuff that we doing. They see a bunch of black people shucking and jiving, patriotic, loving the beast, loving Babylon. Now think about this. If I was Trump and I wanted to invade the Gaza Strip, I know that everybody and their mama, all of my enemies is saying, you wrong for that, Trump. Leave them people alone. Americans shouldn't be invading Gaza. Now, what if everybody in the world and their mama was telling America, you wrong for invading Gaza, right? And at the same time, American citizens was telling their government, why the hell we going into Gaza? I thought you was putting Americans first. Now you got a government that want to do Israel's dirty work and go into Gaza, but they not only got their enemies telling them that's wrong, they got their own people telling them that's wrong. Oh my God. You know you couldn't be able to invade Gaza under them conditions. So guess what they did? They said, we got to create a situation where we can invade Gaza without nobody looking and nobody questioning. And that's why they invaded Gaza during the Super Bowl. These people ain't no stupid. They ain't stupid. Listen, if this would have happened at any other time and wasn't nothing else going on, guess what everybody will be talking about if you black? Donald Trump in office ain't doing that for black people, but he doing something for Israel, and he about to use all our resources. How y'all gonna be mad at the immigrants for taking our resources when Trump about to bankrupt America by sending us to World War, dummies? Don't you know how much of our resources it's gonna take to conquer the Gaza Strip? We're gonna be over there just as long as we was in the Middle East, and y'all don't even see what's happening. That's gonna drain America during a time where Cali burning down, floods, and y'all, we in a time where our economy is so fragile. Going to war gonna be the final blow to it. That's why we asked Trump to promise us that we wasn't gonna go to war, and he did it, and now we invading Gaza. He broke his promise. Don't you know if the Super Bowl wasn't going on right now, everybody will be talking about the Gaza invasion and how hypocritical it is? If I was the small hats and I wanted Trump to invade Gaza, without nobody questioning it, giving me backlash, I would do it during the Super Bowl. That's right! Because I know Americans ain't gonna miss that football game. I know that, are you not entertained? We're glad.